physics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.
Yeah. And we back and we live. The Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. Absolutely beautiful Sunday afternoon here. And we ready to put somebody on the grill. We're going to have to get right into it. We're not
Fuck
even
man. Hey, fuck Maj Toure as an influencer, as an East Bay model, and as a motherfucking record label. And if you want to be down with Maj Toure, fuck you too. Chino XL, fuck you too.
Hey, you know what? Let's just start right there. What does Maj Toure have to say about children on a school bus beating up little girls? What does he have to say about what other people have to say about it, to be fair?
Said it before, we'll say it again. Matt Walsh is a clown. In response to that video that the children on the school bus beating up on a 9-year-old girl that hit them first, overkill.
I do appreciate him pointing out that she hit them first. Let's keep it. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Let's be transparent here. She did hit them first.
Dumb kids should be punished for overkill. The kid did hit them first. However, it's overdone. All right? Children being dumbass children. But Matt Walsh's response in the quote tweet is, children raised to be animals, as if he knows the parents, as if he knows how they were raised.
Okay. So am I going out on a limb here? Am I assuming too much by saying if you and your friends take turns pummeling a 9-year-old girl on a school bus, you probably weren't raised correctly? Is that fair?
Not even a little bit. But I love, he tells on himself because he trivializes the brutal pummeling of a tiny little girl by a dude that's twice her size, and multiple dudes took swings at her. And didn't just, she did hit them first. Really? That tiny little bird-boned brittle bitch, that tiny little girl hit them one time, and you're telling me that the pummeling that was received, you're saying it was overdone. You admit that it was overkill, but your position is it's dumb kid stuff. No. Putting gum in someone's hair is dumb kid stuff. Right. Spitballs is dumb kid stuff. Writing on markers like you got a fake mustache and give yourself fake tattoos, dumb kid stuff.
This is felony assault. This is felony assault.
This is cave beast violence.
Yeah.
Listen, blackness has never been better managed. I want to express my love and my infinite respect for Doobie Howser, the owner of Blackness. Your revocations of Blackness and the fines you've administered have just been simply brilliant. Yeah. It's on point. Blackness has never been better managed. If Blackness was a stock that I could buy, I would go all in. I would go YOLO because it's destined to go up. You're building value.
When it's managed correctly, you see the truth.
Right.
So I just want to point out with Maj Toure, he told on himself because in his mind, that vicious beating of a tiny girl.
There's kids doing dumb stuff. It's silly, you know. It's goofy, you know.
That's someone look, I can't share space with you. I don't want to live near you. We're nothing alike. We can't have the same culture. We can't have the same. Just imagine. Like, listen, he mouth raped her for 20 minutes. It's dumb kid stuff.
Yeah, it's just dumb horseplay.
Like where's the line, right? Because if he brutally mouth raped her, I don't think he would defend it as dumb kid stuff, right? I'd like to think he wouldn't. Maybe if he was going to be able to sell more self-defense classes, if he thought it was going to make people afraid, or at least allow criminality to flourish unchecked so he could sell self-defense classes.
Right, yeah, I'm going to wait to the end. I'm going to wait to the end. I'll let him speak his full piece before I give my take on it. Just let him hear what else he has to say.
Raised to be animals, as if he knows the parents, as if he knows how they were raised. And the thread is indicative of the same bigoted mindset that we're talking about. This is not a conversation about a balanced approach to holding children accountable for doing dumb things. This is a fake-ass dog whistle to, in essence, call black children raised to be animals, but you don't even know their parents. Said it before, said it again, guys. Clown. I guess those are the animals, right, that come from the same racial jungle that Biden said he didn't want his children to be a part of.
That would be fair. I mean,
yes. Yes. And here's the thing. If you give me a choice, because we're talking about judgment, right? Is Matt Walsh a bad person? Does Matt Walsh say Rogan 30 times every morning to make his teeth white like Paul Mooney?
Yes.
Does Matt Walsh have some kind of repressed, deep-seated racism that he feels, that he knows is there, but he only expresses it through calling people that violently beat 9-year-old girls animals? If he's not getting any laws changed, if he's not going around lynching anybody, if he's not going out and committing indiscriminate violence against black people and calling for their repatriation back to Africa, if that's the extent that his racism manifests, I'm fine with that. Because even if you weren't a racist, I think you could objectively look at that and say, yeah, that's animalistic behavior. That's having no sense of compassion or respect for humanity. When you see, there's a natural thing that clicks in you if you're a functioning human being, when somebody is tinier than you, when they're helpless comparatively to you. And if that button doesn't click on and you're able to just viciously beat a 9-year-old girl, I don't give a fuck what color you are. That's animalistic fucking behavior. Yeah. And so if you're telling me who I'm going to share my values and my intentional community with, if you give me the choice between Matt Walsh and you give me the choice of Maj Toure, I would probably have more interesting conversations about a lot of cultural shit with Maj Toure. I probably wouldn't have a lot to talk about with Matt Walsh. But if you're putting your values on Front Street to say this is how I see the world and this is how I'm identifying things, I have to absolutely side with Matt Walsh. I am not at all offended that he called that despicable, violent behavior animalistic. The shit that they did to the skinny black kid in Tennessee, that's animalistic shit too. Those 5 cops behaved like animals. I don't give a fuck what color they are. It's super duper unnecessary violence where you're just enjoying hurting somebody. That shit is not humanity. That shit is animalistic cave beast behavior. And if your problem is the dog whistle because of the verbiage, fine, let's call it cave beast behavior. It's Europe without the Moors. It's cave beast behavior. They're not building barns. They're sleeping with the animals. They're beating the shit out of 9-year-old white girls. They're violent, and however you want, whatever context of verbiage you need to couch it in. But if your moral compass tells you, oh, that vicious beating, oh, that's just dumb kid stuff. That shit is way more offensive to me than Matt Walsh describing that shit as animalistic.
Oh man, I can't say that's dumb kid stuff. Like my 8-year-old son told me a story how he seen a kid get jumped in his school, and he was telling me how that shit was wrong. So clearly, like, dumb kid stuff is like, like kicking trash cans out in your neighbor's yard or something, or doing jumps off a mountain bike. But like two kids just beating up a girl, even though she hit him first. I don't know why he emphasized that. But 2 kids beating up a girl.
Just to be fair and balanced, you got to be completely transparent. She definitely hit them first. I mean, let's be honest. She was no angel. She was no angel.
Like you had to throw women under the bus. You have to find a way, but just not to do it.
You have to. You got to. You got to be honest, man.
But yeah, it's just
that's the pathway to saying she brought it on herself.
But I can't support men. They're animals.
Two things. I completely agree that if the fullness of how you express your racism is that you wait for the chosen race of people to do horrible shit on film and then you call them names for doing the horrible shit.
But not even the racist names.
No,
just
not even
mild
the racist names.
Insults.
Yeah, just animals.
It would almost appear he was raised by animals.
Right. Raised to be an
animal.
Right. Like, so he's not actually an animal. He was just raised like it. Oh, so he just has some wild tendencies because of some things that may have gone wrong in his childhood. Is that what you're saying? Like, no, I'm calling him a monkey. He's just a monkey.
No call for lynching. No Rogan, hard R. No, let's send them back to Wakanda. None of that.
But in the world of words are violence, you have to say that Matt Walsh is similar to Hitler because that's how you get people riled up. First you call them animals, next thing you know you're passing out machetes at Walmart and telling them to kill the first black person you see. That's how these things escalate in conversational mathematics.
Fair enough. Completely fair. Completely fair. But let's remember that Maj Toure, and listen, mark my words, I'm proclaiming it now. You will see Maj Toure eventually become a left-wing pundit. You will absolutely see him. By necessity, he will have to gravitate. He's working his political grift on the right for now and found a little bit of a lane. He is not a principled person. He will, especially if you can't defend your ideas. You just like to throw block parties when you get called out on your fuckery. He will absolutely get a gig on the left. But the whole no hard R on the Rogan. No call to return to Wakanda. No kind of let's go have a lynching. All of the things, like when you talk about racism and how harsh racism is throughout history, and we allude and we put everything on par with racism, or we put with the racism of the past, he can't take the position that language is violence because he chose to align himself with the political right that calls that kind of behavior snowflakes. He's not supposed to be participating in that it was the language. Like, this was the mildest terms in which a racist comment
do we
could
have
have been put out there.
The Matt Walsh one?
Oh, no, I haven't even really seen him. Everybody has just been mentioning that he said something about it. I didn't even see Matt Walsh's actual take. I don't even care because it wasn't spicy enough for me to go look for it. If all the dude said was raised to be animals or even animals, I saw Devon just wrote, he just tweeted the word chimps.
With no context.
With no context. Just
you got to figure out. You got to apply it.
Yeah. Because I knew he was talking about that video with those kids beating on that little girl. Because if you put some wildlife noises over that video, would that be racist? So if you take that video and you play audio footage from some chimpanzees tearing each other apart, do you think, is that racist?
It's hilarious.
I think it would be hilarious, to be honest with you. It would be a whole new different TikTok trend. It wouldn't even be like
just putting animal noises under black people's activities. Is that what you do?
Not black people's activities.
Just
violent animal activities.
Well, what else works as good as wild black people and monkey noises, though? Like, give me a demographic and animal noises that works better than violent black people and monkeys. I'll wait.
If you had a fight at a bar mitzvah and it was a whole bunch of rat noises.
Oh, that'll get you banned. That'll get.
Trailer park.
I'm pretty sure
and
monkey noises
fighting?
and black people are getting you banned too.
Trailer parks and dogs barking.
Just listen. This is why it was the wrong move to say that the problem here was Matt Walsh's mild racism. We should all be equally outraged at the pummeling of the tiny girl.
No, nobody cares about the pummeling of the girl. We're talking about
that's what I'm saying.
racism.
Like, he was like, "Oh, she hit him," and then the anger comes after that. I'm like,
but look, the same. But look at the same historical arguments. Rayshard Brooks. Yeah, we talked to him for about 30 minutes. We were very polite to him. We tried to handcuff him gently. He punched the shit out of the officers, wrestled us to the ground, grabbed one of our tasers, and ran off. And then we had to shoot him. You ain't have to shoot him, though. All he did, after you were nice to him and talked to him for 30 minutes, was punch you in the face a couple times and wrestle your taser away and shoot you.
Cop have to do anything athletic, you're getting attacked.
No, but that's the thing. That you didn't have to respond like that. Like all the people that want to break it down in terms of race, you didn't have to respond like that. Your boy Jacob Blake. Look, all he did was digitally penetrate his ex-girl while she was sleeping, or Joe Biden her. He just Joe Biden his fingers right up her snatch into her womb, and then he smelled his fingers and walked out the door, and then he fought the cops on the way to the car where he was kidnapping children and getting a knife. You ain't have to shoot him, though.
He's a hero.
You ain't have to shoot him, though. That was overkill. But a tiny little white girl with brittle bird bones punched you, and you're twice her size and 5 years her senior, but you throw that in as a kind of she was asking for it as a mild justification. Stop it.
I kind of also
Stop
feel
it.
like this is a problem with the busing in general, because that kid definitely looked like he was too large. Either he was too large to be on that bus, or the rest, or those other kids were too small. I can't
Just
think of a
get him in
reason.
prison. Get him in his prison
It's
starter
a
kit.
school to prison
Why are we
pipeline.
wasting
Yeah,
time? It's
that's
not a
it.
pipeline. It's a bus behavior cave beast
Yeah,
pipeline.
just
Can
drop
we
him right
agree
off.
that the
As
bus? Can we agree that the school system, American school system bus line is just a little bit of
A clusterfuck.
it's
not
a
a
cop out.
clusterfuck. It's
There's
a
plenty of people
gladiator.
who
It's
are
a
going to.
pre-gladiator school trip.
It
Yeah,
is
that's a
if you live in a
clusterfuck.
shitty neighborhood.
Exactly.
That's all it is. If you live in a decent neighborhood, you're not dealing with that. That poor girl, her parents failed financially. They live in a trailer park and they got to go to a shitty school where there's other parents that are failing, where their kids got to go. And no, the least you could do is see. This is the thing too. It ain't shit to be poor. Being poor is not a moral judgment. You probably made some bad decisions, but you could also be poor and just not have a business acumen, not have a brain to get money. You just might
Average
not. You may
buddy.
not have the talent or the foresight or what. There's no shame in being broke if you're contributing to your community and society in some sort of way. So the problem isn't being broke. You could be broke and raise your kid marvelously. But obviously nobody's participating. I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. Like all of us were probably taught that you don't hit girls. But even if nobody told us, there's nothing that kicks in and a bulb lights up in you to say, like, you definitely don't hit a girl 1,000 times as she's
To be
crying and
fair, to
cowering
be fair,
and
how we
covering her
grew up,
head.
we grew up as a little
Someone's
different.
got to tell you that. If
No,
someone's got to
they-
tell you that, then you've got no guidance.
You didn't say the color of the little girl though. That's where
What does
the color.
Oh, okay.
You got to say the color, because if you're
it was a pink bitch. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's justice.
See, now let's bring it into context. Because
Is it
if
pink
you're,
toe?
if you're, I don't know if it's right to call a child of that age a pink show, but I get what you're saying. But if the child is black, right, and they're filled with intergenerational racial post-traumatic slave angst, and they're in an enclosed space with the handmaiden of the devil, they on the bus with a little 9-year-old white girl. This is the handmaiden of the devil.
You guys are going way too deep. These are a bunch of kids raised by World Star. That's all it is. I'm pretty sure
right,
the
right.
kid with the phone out, and I'm pretty sure there was another kid behind the ears like, you better hit her back. Like, these kids are not raised like we were raised. Like,
But
it's a different.
what drives that big ass little boy to hit that girl 74 times?
I don't know. Maybe he got problems at home. Who knows? It could be a multitude of things.
Yeah.
Look, I can't even imagine. The first time I ever punched anybody, I remember it was in first grade. The older neighborhood kids, the fifth graders, organized the fight for whatever small thing. So it was organized, it was cheered on. And I remember punching this kid and he just started crying. And they kept egging me on to fight more. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm done. Well, if you leave, you're going to lose the fight. All right, I'll lose the fight. I just remember feeling so bad seeing somebody in pain and crying. Like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Nobody had to tell me shit. I don't understand how you could be that detached from your humanity to cause pain to somebody like that over such a trivial reason and just feel nothing, especially a girl. Like, if he beat a dude like that, it would be like, that's fucked up.
They were tiny, bro. I mean, everybody except the one kid in comparison to everybody else was a lot bigger. But the girl was 9, so the first little boy that she was mixing up with was probably about her age, and then the other kids got to be like 12.
It's children though, man. Like I can't think too deep of it because it's kids.
No,
you know
I
what
think
I mean?
when you get to teenagers, when you get 15, 16-year-old little boys,
High school age, right?
Yeah, high school age little boys, the brutality kicks in. Like, I think when you're younger, kids they just wrestle a little bit. Somebody get punched in the stomach, you know what I'm saying? And it's fine. But once you're 15, 15, 16 years old, yeah, shit starts getting real violent. Real danger comes into play. But this kid was pummeling this little girl like it was a UFC fight. It's the smallest little child. It's like, why is this kid so angry? What is going on? I guarantee you there's a section of YouTube right now with angry black folks who's like, that's what that little white bitch gets. I guarantee
Of course.
it. I guarantee it. They
Of
also
course.
listen. They listen to Tariq Nasheed. That he's on their playlist for sure. They probably listen to Dr. Umar, but they love it. They're celebrating this shit. And it's,
That's my little
fuck
Nat
them.
Turner.
Fuck them.
Get her
Fuck
ass,
them.
little Nat.
that's right. That's
Fuck
for
them.
all them
Fuck them.
years.
Fuck them. That's not how we get revenge on them.
Nah, dude, that shit was stupid. So
Okay,
I don't. Those are people I'm not going to
behavior.
protect from being called animals.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, it's
No,
not even like
that's-
you're calling them animals directly. He said raised by, and I just want to point out also that
Yeah.
Matt Walsh retweeted Maj Toure, but Maj Toure blocked me for talking to him about this situation.
Oh wow,
So
hilarious.
that shows you how this thing works here. One guy retweeted his opposition to be scrutinized by the community. The other guy was like, "Nope, not answering your question."
And who am I supposed to believe has more growth?
Oh, and
Like,
all I
who's-
said was, I think that Maj Toure is waiting for them to get a little bit older so they can start doing home invasions, and then he can shoot them. Because I mean, clearly,
Listen, don't get away. Listen, that's some of my future talent. I'm scouting. I'm scouting to sell these self-defense
Yeah,
classes.
right.
I've been
We're
dying.
just doing kid stuff.
yeah,
That kid is about to break into. So if I can downplay it, if I can, this is just dumb kid stuff. I can get people to look away. He's not going to get caught up in the system.
right.
He's guaranteed to break into my house at some point.
I'm gonna kill him.
I'm
gonna kill
luring
him,
him.
and then I'm gonna sell 100 more concealed carry permits after I kill him. Excuse me.
Sounds like the master
Matt-
plan. There it
Listen,
goes.
Maj Toure just needs to I don't know, man. I feel like he should be like a catalog model for Dillard's or something. He just needs
His
to go.
blackness is banned, so he can't come over here.
I
he
don't
can't-
think you should ban him, but he's gotta.
He's got to earn it. He's got to
but-
earn it back.
But
He's
think
gotta-
about any other enterprise, right? Think about how they control the media to save their brand, right? Like, oh, we can't let this get out that we fucked up and this shit is poisoning people, or we accidentally polluted a river, or we were stealing, fractions of pennies from people's accounts. We can't let this get out. We got to distance ourselves from this. Let's put out a press release Friday evening so it misses the news cycle. Like, who's managing the brand of blackness? Like, if you care about blackness as the voodoo doll identity, why would you defend this? It would seem like you would want to distance blackness from this. You would want to make this not about blackness at all.
No, you can't.
You-
You can't separate it anymore because I've heard a lot of people also point out that I've seen people use the phrase that America is so racist that when you attack racism, people feel like they need to defend America. So if you just talk about racism or something, they'll just assume you mean American people, and they'll go to the country instead of the problem of racism itself at the root. The same thing could be said for blackness and criminality. You've allowed them to become so synonymous that when somebody scrutinizes criminality, you think you need to step in to protect blackness.
Defend blackness.
You're
Yep.
fucking up. You're
Right.
fucking up. Your tribalism
What
has
re-
betrayed you again.
Really, you should just say, this is animal behavior. This is not blackness.
Right.
We disavow. This
Right.
is not on brand.
Like
for
the
black.
brother Doobie has clearly paved the way for a golden age of black consciousness. If people follow what we're laying out here, the golden age, the renaissance of blackness will come back. It'll happen the right way. Guaranteed. If you can give out black infractions and make people pay their way back in, you can actually boot them out of blackness, just like people try to for the stupidest reasons. Like, oh, you don't eat chitlins, you ain't black. Stupid shit. It don't make no sense. But if you say, oh yeah, those children beating up that little girl, like that child has been relieved of his blackness. His parents can pay his way back in, or he can do some community service or something like that. But yeah, we can't have that. But instead, you bring them closer and you defend anybody who scrutinizes them. What do we need to know about your parents if you just punched a 9-year-old white girl 47 times? What can we assume anything about your parents? Is that a bad
Clearly
generalization?
they're not there.
Or if they are there, they're a terrible influence.
Right, they're beating the shit out of you.
Or this
And
kid
not
is
teaching
just
you right.
stark raving mad, and you need to get him into level 4 of Dante's with a -10 soup deficit as soon as he gets there. Maybe is that what needs to be done? Because if that's the case, either it's bad parenting and a bad environment, he was raised to act like an animal in this situation, or he's just out of his fucking mind. Which one is it? I don't think there's any other options. I don't think kids doing dumb stuff applies here. In my
Absolutely
opinion,
not.
in my
Absolutely
opinion,
not.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is me cooning. I don't know. I got to leave some room on the table. It could be somebody could say this is cooning, but I don't think that counts as kids doing dumb stuff.
No, it doesn't.
But according to Maj Toure, this is a racist dog whistle.
Oh, he's trying to kill them in the future when about 18.
Exactly. That makes the
home
most
invasion.
sense to me. He's the most racist because he's defending cave beast behavior so that he can kill black people later on. Because if you're selling people in the hood, the quote unquote hood, right? That's part of his marketing plan. You're not going to Beverly Hills trying to sell people concealed. You selling the hood concealed license permits. Who are they going to be shooting? This kid in 10 years. Obviously, if it don't take a left or a right somewhere, that's who he's selling them the concealed carry permits for. So
That's gotta be it.
it just makes the most sense to me. He's protecting some future real estate. He's like, nah, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this to sell more. Because if I gotta kill one of you motherfuckers, that's a couple hundred more. People gonna get scared. Oh shit, Maj Toure just shot somebody trying to climb through his window. I need to get a gun permit.
And let me try to put this in context so people can maybe get out of their tribal mind state and maybe they can save themselves from themselves. Little Jeffrey Dahmer at 14 murdering cats. Do you understand? Like, you can look at it and just be like, look, if we let this go unchecked, eventually he's raping, murdering, and eating people.
Clearly.
If we just he's strangling animals, he's watching them die, he's getting a hard on when it happens. Like, he's a weirdo, right? So you could look at that and say we should have done more to stop Jeffrey Dahmer. If we had to do it all over again, Jeffrey Dahmer would have been institutionalized the first time we found him strangling a dog with a hard on. But he's just a kid. He could change. No, he's only gonna get better at getting hard while killing. You can't let him. There's no hope. I don't know what happened in the divine recipe, but his shit is fucked up. There's nothing we can do for him. And we need to get him into some sort of institution now. And so if you can see that about Jeffrey Dahmer because he's white, get your mind off. This is not little kid stuff where we can look at this and say, okay, eventually he's going to be reformed. And if you can do that, if that 14 years old is like ninth grade or some shit.
Yeah,
like
I think so.
You're beating up a tiny kid at 14 years old. You know, a 9-year-old is a tiny child. You know, a 9-year-old is a tiny child. There's no 14 on the planet. There's no ninth grader on the planet that doesn't know a fucking fourth grader is a tiny fucking child. Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, he's Jeffrey Dahmer. He's Black Dahmer. We need to get him in the system as soon as possible. There's no salvaging him. I'm sorry. It's the best thing we can do for the long-term quality of blackness. If we want blackness to have name recognition that has positive associations, we need to get out in front of this and not let this be attached to the brand.
That makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I think those are comparable. I think killing a dog or killing a small animal as a child is very close in proximity to punching a child in the head that many times.
A small child.
A very small white female child with brittle bones. 47, 50 punches. Who knows? 30. I don't know. I didn't count them, but it was a lot. It was a lot. Again, I mean, hold on. I got this on the screen. Let me just make sure you can see this here.
And we got a comment in the chat too. Maybe when a student is beaten to death in the hallway, people will realize what a circus school has become. The nun with the ruler needs to make a comeback.
Nah, because a lot of nuns going to get their ass beat.
This
ain't the generation.
This
is not the generation you want to pull out a ruler on. You know what? It needs one of those. What was it? There was something about. I think I just missed it. But yeah, here it is. This kid is a lot larger. You can see her cowering down in here, right? She's just covering her head. And this kid here is throwing like 50 punches at her. And everybody's cheering. Another kid over here gets some too.
No,
picture
look,
just looks
look.
horrible.
No, hold on.
Oh my
You
God.
can see the well-raised kid. The well-raised kid, the nerdy-looking black kid in the front
Right
with the
here,
glasses.
just watching.
He
Like,
is
damn.
he is appalled. He looks back like, "Oh my God." Like his mom and dad raised him. He is not raised like an animal. Skin and economic level have nothing to do with it. It's completely 1,000.5% behaviors.
Gosh, bro. I get it.
Let's just see it. Let's see this little girl get her ass beat. Can we just see it?
No, I don't know if
Oh, man.
YouTube's gonna have it. This is part of an article. No, it's tiny. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Let's see.
No, YouTube's gonna cut that. Don't do it.
Yeah, YouTube's gonna cut that.
YouTube.
It's pretty. Oh shit. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Twitter.
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's
Twitter,
bad.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
hardcore. It's hardcore. So we'll take that out of here. But
I'm agreeing
All
that
right,
he's
so
an
Maj
animal. He's an
Toure
animal.
defends black Jeffrey Dahmers so that he can sell concealed carry classes. Got it.
Yep,
I
got
understand his business plan now.
yeah, I
Oh,
get
what
it.
was that?
He poses pictures of himself modeling, and he gives self-defense classes for the criminals that he helps protect by not snitching on them
Yeah,
and making
somebody's
excuses
gotta
for their
deal with
cave
it.
beast behavior.
Cave
So
beast
basically,
behavior.
so we can say Maj Toure definitively is a purveyor and promoter of white supremacy.
Yes,
Yes.
Violent
Yes.
European cave beast behavior.
beyond
Okay,
a
fair
shadow of a
enough.
doubt. Beyond a
It's
shadow
been
of a
proclaimed.
doubt. Yep. And it becomes even more nefarious when you factor in that he's selling guns to people in the hood to protect themselves from unapologetic criminals.
Who he nurtures with the tenderest of care. I raised them up from
Yeah.
little hood saplings
Yeah.
into fucking urban terrorists. I made sure when they were ridiculed or called out, I defended them. I called the violent beatings and mouth rapings just dumb kid stuff. And I made sure they made it to full grown harvesting age. So we could reap the
Harvesting
terror in the
age.
hood.
Harvesting age. I can use them to scare all the people. I can kill a couple of them here and there, and I can keep this hustle going forever. If I just protect them when they're young, when they're doing cave beast behavior, so they get out in the world and don't learn the consequences of their actions, eventually they're going to run into me or one of the people that I've already sold a concealed carry permit to and going to get themselves shot. And that's going to be a reason for me to have another seminar to sell more concealed carry permits.
Dude, he's black
He's a
privatized
farmer.
prisons.
He-
That's the business model. You can't sell self-defense if the hood ain't violent. Your business, just like the private prison system needs prisoners and criminals, he needs thugs. He needs to nurture them. His business model fails without them. So I get it. And this is why the man cannot debate. He cannot defend his ideas. He certainly can't defend the authentic blackness of snitching. He can't. He can't
Yeah.
defend any of it, and he won't engage in any sort of debate. He runs his shit like a white supremacist authoritarian. It's very Hitlerian. So I suppose he's anti-Semitic. I don't
Bro,
know.
why?
I would just throw it in there. If you behave like Hitler or you're not, you got it. He's an authoritarian. He won't debate anybody. He throws his little block parties because he can't defend his ideas. And he should be summarily dismissed as a white supremacist, and no one should pay attention to him anymore.
I agree. I don't understand the connection between you selling guns to citizens, but also you're against snitching.
Wouldn't snitching help
snitching.
save the citizens you're trying to protect?
No. You know what it does?
You can't make it make sense.
Snitching,
Right.
Snitching changes the numbers. It changes the numbers game. When you snitch, one guy might get out, but he sends 5 people to jail. That's 5 less people that he's going to shoot. So if you
Right.
take the charge, one guy goes to jail, the other 5 criminals stay on the street. Maj Toure can shoot them.
Right, he's crunched the numbers. He's like, snitching brings neighborhood terror down by 45%,
Right.
which hurts my new sales by 62%.
Right.
He's crunched the numbers. He's got the AI algorithm. He's been going to like really sexy parties and snuggling up with Mark Zuckerberg. They've been running the numbers on their AI Skynet robots. And he knows if there's no hood terror, there is no hood self-defense classes. His business model evaporates overnight. We have figured that man out.
Maj Toure, the
figured him out.
jig is up, right? The jig is up, buddy. It's up. It's over. I didn't even intend to. I feel like I just pulled the mask off a Scooby-Doo villain. And this is
Exactly
who
what
it
you
was,
did.
Maj Toure, bro. Black Guns Matter.
Look at always modeling. Always modeling.
Yeah.
He's a Montgomery Ward's catalog model. Abercrombie and Fitch.
Gosh,
He's
he's
got
in the
skin
game.
creams, lip moisturizer. He's making sure. Beard is trimmed.
Look at his dreads just flowing in there.
Flowing in the wind.
Right, but he's
Horrible.
right. Can you get the wind machine? I want to look like a rock star. Get the wind machine for my dreads. Yeah, he's
He's wearing a
basically
shirt that says all gun control is racist.
he's an Instagram model. He's an influencer. That's
Wait.
basically a chick job.
Aren't concealed carry permits part of gun control? Like that's you can't just go get it and walk around with it. Like you have a permit. Like that's still in the realm of gun control, right? I mean, I don't understand.
I can't. We can't take. We can't. And there's the quintessential pick. Is he in African garb? Did he go? Did he try to play that role, or maybe he's too small on the screen?
He probably went to Ghana.
We don't got him. We don't got him in any kufis and dashikis. It's just a gay looking turtleneck.
Yeah,
What is that? Is he had a scarf on? What is that? Ruffles? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's some cloth. He wants to look.
He tried
super
to
conscious.
Yeah, I can't.
fashion this with the Africanism, but it just looked whack altogether.
Yo,
Just-
this is yo. He wants to be an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
But
The
don't
world
snitch.
didn't open up for him in that lane.
But
So
don't
right,
snitch.
so this was his lane to fame, to kind of be a model. He gets to pose for a lot of pictures, and he just found a little bit of rhetoric that got him some attention from the right, and eventually he couldn't just keep his opinion to himself about certain things, and he inadvertently exposed himself for who he is. He is damaging the quality of mass blackness. He is bringing down the stock value. It is plummeting with his antics.
I think it's safe to say, from now on, I'm just going to accept in my own head that Maj Toure wants to kill black people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Unless he wants to, unless somebody can clip this up and tag him, maybe I'll do it. Even though he's blocked me, maybe I'll just put it out there in the world so other people can tag him.
We want to debate
I don't
him.
think
This is an
he's
open
blocked
forum.
Doobie.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
Doobie's
have
gonna
Doobie
have to-
deliver it to him, but I'd love to know how these things fit together.
I want to debate him. I want to talk to this man. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
defend not snitching, defend criminality as not being. I mean, look, what we are is essentially animals with rules, right? That's what civilization is. That's what civilization is essentially. That's what religion aimed to do. Is we were just barbaric, primitive ape people, and then we became civilized. Whatever story you want to believe, if you want to have the civilizer story of the Nation of Islam, if you want to have the ontological discontinuity of the Catholic Church saying apes had a human soul breathed into them at some point, whatever you want to say transitioned us from animals to creatures of nobility. Essentially, being a human is living with these animal impulses that you don't give into. Like the degree to which you don't live out these animalistic impulses, you're a human, you're civilized. It is. When we give in to those primal urges, it is animalistic. And just like with our friend Devon putting on, chimps and ask, nothing more, I'm just going to put chimps, you can connect the dots, right? If you see yourself or you see those actions and you identify with it, right? Like you're putting yourself in there. When I hear chimp, I don't think about me. When I hear animalistic, I don't think about me. I know I got animalistic impulses, but we also have this aspect of divinity in our consciousness, or however you want to word it, where we have concepts of ethics and we put restraints on those animal impulses. And through thousands and thousands of recorded history, we figured out that those restraints are essentially what make us human. That's the difference between being a civilized human being and being an animal. Like you have those kind of violent impulses under control. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't.
It is
I,
written in the
it,
Bible to stop fucking the animals, so I have to say something about it.
It should have been written in
I
there
don't
to
see the
not
correlation.
start doing it. Let's just
We
start.
have
with
to be
those rules.
civilized in order to stop fucking the animals.
Right, you think God would have intervened ahead of time? Like, look,
And by the
eventually
way,
y'all are gonna get into some weird shit. I just want to nip this in the bud before y'all get started. Yeah.
let me just put this out on the table right now. These horses are not for you to bang. Okay, let's not do that. Yeah, it doesn't.
And
make no
definitely don't
sense.
let them bang you.
Well, listen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why did the rule have to be said?
Because it's a lot of
But
stuff
that-
like
but-
that hidden in there, bro. Because that's what people were. It's just letting you know what was going on in the human mind. It's always been the same. I don't think it's changed very much. I know some anthropologists or something like that that can
There's
probably tell
definitely
you.
still donkey fuckers out here.
Listen, there's all kinds. People will do, and not okay. I'm gonna take it farther than that. Not only people, any conscious being, right, will take full advantage of whatever it can take full advantage of. That's just the way this shit works. That's just the way this shit works. A chicken will do some shit when your back is turned. A dog, a cat, and humans are the same way. They're not the same when they think people are watching. They're not the same when they know there's some type of observation happening. Put a camera in a room with some people, you're going to get a different version of those people than a room that they don't know a camera's in. I mean, a lot of our media and entertainment is based on that shit. And it's not just people. They're just going to get away with anything they can fucking get away with. And that's how it's always been. Humans are terrible, right? We've established that already. They're terrible to each other. They treat each other horrible. And I don't see any reason to mince that up any further and be like, yeah, but those fucking Vikings, though, they were really bad. Like, bro, it doesn't matter. They're all bad.
But look,
everybody.
the Bible says don't fuck the animals. You know what the Bible doesn't say? Don't rape. There is no thou shalt not rape.
Right.
You want to know why? Because the Bible is antiquated tribal morality. Humans weren't ready for that. They had to be civilized for thousands of years before that was even on the table to discuss. So wait a minute. Really? No rape? Yeah, no rape. Come on, dude.
So
Are
after
you
we fight the
serious?
war and we beat them, we can't. It just stops.
Right. So God was like, look, listen, don't steal shit. You know, don't worship other fucking figurines. Just worship me. You know, don't do shit on Saturday, and you know,
Or Sunday.
don't look at your neighbor and be like, fuck it, his car is nicer than mine. He laid out all these principles, you know, and when you get really complicated and you got to start wearing silly outfits and shit, hey, no two different cloths in the same garment. You got to shave all your head. You got to cut your dick skin off. All of these rules and things. But you would think at some point it'd be like, look, y'all can't rape. No, they were ready. Their hearts were ready for don't fuck the animals. They were like, hey, maybe you're right. We're getting a lot of weird pop marks. People are dying. This probably a bad idea to fuck the animals. Okay. But he didn't even try to reason with them. If anything, that's why the Ten Commandments got broke on the way down.
Yeah, that's where the don't
like,
rape was on that tablet.
Right. And he was like,
whoa.
I'm not even trying to tell these people not to rape. He just broke that shit. He's like, I don't know, y'all. It broke. I'll go back there and I'll write it from memory. And then he left don't rape out of it.
It was only
weren't ready
11
for that.
He was
commandments.
left out.
It was
of the
only
promised
11
land.
commandments.
He purposely broke the no rape law.
Yeah, it was only 11 commandments. That whole last
Fuck
tablet was
this.
all about not raping.
It's like, God,
you know what? I'm
everything's good
dropping
on
this one.
here. Well, that no rape. We
That
gotta
one,
sell
yeah.
it.
Look,
I'll just tell you right now.
I've been reading a couple pages ahead. I know we about to kill some people and take some lands, and if we're not going in there and raping, what's the point? I'm breaking this shit and I'll write it from memory.
But you know what?
And you know that was the moral ethic though, because when the angels were like, yo, let me rape Lot, yo. Let me rape these angels. Or when the city, Lot had the angel visit him.
The city,
Right.
yeah.
So the whole city is like, damn, them angels look good as fuck. Yo, Lot, let me rape them angels.
Here's
Heaven
my
no.
daughter.
Don't rape these angels.
No.
Rape these bitches. My daughters. Rape these bitches. Because there is no rape. Because we haven't even fathomed. We haven't even, our level of morality, we haven't even entertained that women are people. They are things for us to come in. Where there is no concept of rape. Do you understand?
Yo, son had two
like,
virgin
that's the level
daughters.
of morality that we're dealing with.
He had 2 virgin daughters, like some special bottles of wine. He's like, I was saving these for a special occasion.
That's what I'm saying.
But since
Because
y'all
later
here,
he got drunk.
I'll go ahead and bust them open.
It's like, guys, come on here, take them.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bust them open. You know, I was gonna wait a few more years, but since y'all here, nah, that's crazy.
And keep in mind, it was the whole city.
Yeah.
So he wasn't just like, hey, hey dude, just fuck my daughter. He's like, the whole city, you can run through these hoes, just don't fuck this angel. Please don't fuck this angel. God will be mad if you fuck the angel. But these are women. God don't give a fuck about women. So just again, the level of morality. Why? Because we're civilizing barbaric apes. That's all of humanity. You don't got to put a race on it. And we're giving them religious and ethical thoughts until eventually we can suppress these more primal desires and become civilized. And we're not open to certain levels of morality until we've gone through those baby steps. So what we are now is the product of thousands and thousands of years of eugenics. Eugenics and training. We're trained animals.
And I think the training must be wearing off or something, or it's regressing, because now that people have TikTok and fucking, Instagram, it's getting to a place now where everybody's fearing some type of real societal collapse because they're getting a glimpse of how goofy people are in their everyday lives. Not only how goofy people are, but how much support and influence you can have by being goofy online. Doing some stupid shit, or porn even, right? All the OnlyFans, everybody hates that. The fucking OnlyFans and women making $100,000 from showing pictures of their feet, when those same opportunities should be available to dudes, even though they are. Y'all just gotta broaden your horizons a little bit and not worry so much about who's paying you, and just get your money.
Spread your butt cheeks and get cash those checks.
You don't have to go. Well, it depends. However far you want to go.
We gotta see butthole. You're not a dude on OnlyFans unless you're showing your butthole, and it's gotta be bleached. You gotta have abs, or there's no point. Yeah.
Oh, that's
bleach your asshole and get this money.
That is bigotry, sir. That is bigotry.
Listen, you know what it is? It's sound financial advice. You go ahead and try to get an OnlyFans career.
I'm gonna start an OnlyFans playing video games with my shirt off.
Listen, let me know. And I'm gonna show you a dude showing his bleached asshole, and we can compare numbers at the end of the month.
There we go. That's exactly. See what's going on out here.
That's what dudes should do. They should just flood OnlyFans. Just flood OnlyFans with regular, like, dude content. Just playing video games with your shirt on. That's fair. That's fair. You're probably not going to be able to read the comments or nothing like that.
But nobody's saying that can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, women have made it to seem like OnlyFans is their power, but it's not their power. But it's just a bunch of perverts.
So what is it called? Like a DDoS attack or something? Like when you overflow a website and crash it?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically a whole bunch of dudes should just start playing video games without their shirts on. So overload the servers so these bitches can't get paid from showing their pussy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because clearly OnlyFans pays well.
Listen, I think men could start a financial bro circle and just buy each other's content and cycle it around and just usurp it.
$5 a month.
Usurp.
And then for extra
power.
content, I could sell it to you.
Listen, the power is there. You can take it. You can reach out and reclaim OnlyFans from the people that you think are collapsing society with their lack of modesty. Take it back.
I'm still gonna advise you. You play with your shirt off, play some video games, whatever. Once a week, live stream the spreading of your butthole. If you really want to get that revenue in, I'm just telling you.
Listen, I
want to help
it's
me
all
to help
possible.
you.
On OnlyFans, it's all possible.
Just once a week, though. Just once a week. Just
a live stream. Snapchat it out.
That'd be
That good old
You know
butthole
what's
spread.
crazy? I think we're dinosaur biggest because it sounds so absurd for a man to do it. But that's a legitimate job description for some people right now. And it's working. It's successful.
Yeah,
They're making
absolutely.
millions.
Hey, I can't be mad at them, dude. Listen, there's a documentary right now on Netflix about a guy who made a fortune selling Pez dispensers. Pez dispensers.
Shaped like penises.
No, nope.
Oh,
No.
Pez candies?
Yeah, dispensers, bro.
Oh, okay, but when you opened it, it looked like spread butt cheeks.
No, nope.
That's
That
how the
would make
Pez
it
came
make
out.
more sense. But he just collected them. He found a hookup. Dude went to Europe and found a factory. Like he was getting these things and selling them to people he was buying them for pennies, quarters, and selling them for hundreds of dollars each. And he was buying them by the thousands because it was only a quarter. The point is,
Wow.
in the early part of the documentary, he said that he started collecting cereal boxes first, right? Collecting cereal boxes, and this has a point. So he's collecting cereal boxes, and for the graphics and like weird boxes, he's just collecting them for fun. Then he figures out that a lot of them have they start doing these things where if you send in the UPC code or whatever, you can redeem something and get a toy or something like that. And he had been collecting cereal boxes for a long time. So dude had thousands of cereal boxes. So he just started cutting all the UPC codes off of them and getting hundreds and hundreds of toys from the company. He got so much shit from them they had to change the laws. And he said that he was the reason that they wrote one per household in the new bylaws. And someone was talking about why he did it, and he said a phrase that's probably going to stick with me for a long time. He said, "Push it till it breaks." That's what I was going to do. I had so many UPC codes. I was just sending them in as much as I could. I was going to get everything until they stopped me. I'm not stopping until they stop me. And that's the attitude you got to have, right? That's how you make insane amounts of money. And then he started selling the stuff, the toys that he was collecting, and that's how he stumbled onto Pez dispensers. Dude made millions of dollars collecting and reselling Pez dispensers because he decided to push it till
economics, contracts, economics. It's soft rape. It's soft warfare. That's all it was. He was a more civilized rapist, but it's rapacious behavior. Like, listen, push it till it breaks. If that's not a quote from a rapist, I don't know what is.
It's that mentality, right? So there's something about this is terrible, but there's something about the experience that rewards that mentality. But how long do you think it was in real, like, conscious human history? How long do you think it was before consensual relationships were the norm? Because it didn't start, that's not how it started. And it probably didn't happen for a very long time.
I want to say medieval times after the plague.
We really had to work because when you talk about as the norm, because I'm pretty sure they created laws and really it was more for like noble women and shit to protect their chastity. Like it had a economic value, but you know, if you weren't an important woman, God save you. Jesus I can't imagine it was. I mean, and even when you talk about maybe not forcible, come here, bitch rape, but just like you're a bargaining chip for my father's company.
All of that too.
I'm going to sell you off to. So in some form or another, like women haven't really had sexual autonomy, and that's why they're just destroying themselves now by abusing it. But
destroying it.
Just absolutely destroying their souls.
Demolishing it. Like
but it's the overreaction to
man, it's
but it's thousands
like
of years of having no choice.
No, I agree.
Right.
They got to twerk it out. They got some issues locked up in the root chakra, sacral chakra. They got to twerk. You got to do it. You got to do it. This is new, bro. This is new. They probably had this growing in them for a long time. I guarantee you people's great-grandmamas back in the 50s wanted to twerk too. They just had to respect themselves and wear long skirts and shit. And they crawled so these women today could run.
Twerk would have got you raped in 1915.
Well, hey, listen. A lot, and even now, There's countries that you could go to right now. We're talking about American standards. American standards, the height of feminist problems in this country is that they can't show their nipples on Instagram. That's pretty much the crux of the feminist argument. This is where their oppression is centered and not being able to show their nipples on Instagram. That's as pretty much as deep as and not being able to have abortions in some states. That's that's pretty much all of it. What else
A
is
whole
there?
lot of infighting. Whole
Of
lot.
course, but there's a lot of places you can go on this planet where didn't a woman just get sentenced to 10 years in jail, or a couple just get sentenced to 10 years in jail for dancing in public?
I think it was in Iran.
Iraq. Yeah, Iran, Iraq.
Yeah, dancing in public
If
got
just
them 10 years in jail
10
or
and a
something
half
like
years.
that for dancing in public because a woman is not able, she's not allowed to dance with a man who's not her husband, especially
And
in
her
public.
job was off too. Her job, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
And
Iranian couple
and
sentenced to 10 years for
and
dancing in public.
and Iranians are basically white. I mean, how provocative could they really have danced? Right? I
Even if
mean,
they was doing
I got
some
it's
Patrick
got to be corny and
Swayze,
stiff.
even if they was doing some
But
Patrick
they
Swayze
weren't.
dirty dancing, 10
They
years.
were probably doing that ridiculous Russian shit where you just go in a circle,
Right, yeah.
the horror, the Jew shit. Just let's sit in a circle and we'll frolic. It's frolicking.
10 years.
I guarantee you, if we look at their dancing, it was not.
Yeah.
It was not. First of all, how do they can't even practice? There's no dance schools. They couldn't be that good. The TV's probably blocked. The internet's blocked. They probably can't get images of this is some corny folk dance. But you know what? I'm not even gonna be mad at Iran because if we're the alternative, you know what?
Right.
You go Iran.
Lock them up.
Lock everybody
Got them,
up.
keep them.
Because this is eventually people are just spreading their ass cheeks for money all over the internet. That's where it started with the dance, and then it leads to OnlyFans. So fuck it.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. As soon as you let women stop covering 3/4 of their body when they walk around in public, next you get to see
Buttholes and OnlyFans.
buttholes on OnlyFans, and like immediately you blink your eye, you're like, okay, you don't have to wear. One day, all right, you don't have to wear this hijab
As soon as you
anymore.
tell her and you're done blinking, there's a webcam and she's butt naked spreading her ass cheeks.
God
By the
damn.
time your eyes are open,
That's the only two
in the
versions.
blink of an eye.
That's the only two versions of women you get. She's either going to be completely kept and under control wearing a hijab, or her taints on
She's a wild
OnlyFans.
sheep beast butt naked
That's
dancing.
it. That's the only two women you get in today's simulation. Right? I'm sorry, that's not true. That's of course that's not true. Maybe if you're looking for a woman that's under 26. If you're specifically looking for somebody that's under 26, you might have to deal with that. But it's a new world out here. Maybe that's something men are just gonna have to deal with, right? Things
There's a
change.
couple 40s and 30s.
This is the shit that makes me laugh about a lot of the conversations that people are having around this. Is that they're just like, oh, this is scary. Women don't want to have kids. The birth rate's going down. It's like, how far do you think you get to be involved in that? Like, is they got all of these takes about how women are being lied to, and they're telling women don't have kids, and that's one of the most.
Yeah,
Like,
can we deep dive into that? Men telling women what to do.
It's a
Like,
biological imperative that
it's-
most women have to have children. So if she's in her 20s or something, she's saying, you know what, I don't want to have kids, and she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go party, I'm gonna bang a bunch of guys, I'm gonna have OnlyFans. Like, I get it, you're getting older, and you're like, yeah, this is terrible behavior. But then they're like talking about birth rates and statistics and the human race, and this kind of makes me just feel like you're paving the road to a Handmaid's Tale kind of thing. Like, you know what? That's it. The government is going to need to assign wives to all the men and make sure that they get pregnant at least once a year, and it's going to be mandated. That's where I feel like you're going, because the longevity of humanity is not really up to you. If people can't get if there's a problem, that's one thing, right? But if people just can't get along and they stop banging each other, and that's how shit slows down to a grinding halt, why do you think you get to do anything about that? That's just humanity's fate. No, it wasn't an asteroid. Dinosaurs didn't come back. It wasn't a plague. They just, too many women had OnlyFans and men don't like whores, so people just stopped screwing.
Yeah, I don't understand that behavior. I was around in a group too. The guy was telling the girl, she's 23, she finished school, she's making money, and she's like, I'm not in the mood for a relationship right now. I'm just trying to get to know myself. And then he's telling her, "Oh, you better hurry up, because by 30 years old,
Man,
you
shut
have,
up.
I'm like, why are you?
Dude, shut up.
I was like, yo, listen, do you learn yourself, be
That's
a better
it.
person. Don't listen to that
It's
motherfucker
entitlement.
right there.
It's entitlement.
I
This
was
comes
like,
from
what?
entitlement. When dudes are like, "Oh, she's got too many bodies," that's because you want to bang, but you're also disgusted by her. So you have cognitive dissonance. You think you are owed a part of that woman, right? And because if not, her behavior wouldn't matter to you at all. Like, so if it's a woman you're deeply just not attracted to, and she's out on the dance floor and she's like going home with two dudes, you probably wouldn't even notice because you wouldn't be watching her moves like that. But because you're attracted to them, you want them to behave differently to so it can trigger a deeper level of your attraction. Like, okay, now I can go after her and try to bang her because she doesn't have a bunch of bodies and she's this and she's that. Well, if you don't like her behavior, yep, she got OnlyFans, she got lip fillers, and this is all whole shit. Just okay, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Why do you get to lecture
Absolutely.
people about you should? No, that's because you want to smash, but you don't like her in this configuration enough because it doesn't justify your attraction. You want her to be a certain way because you think you got a chance. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's kind of silly.
And just move to Utah and become a fucking Mormon.
Easy.
It's not like it's not like this world. Like, it's so silly to me when people are out there trying to proselytize a planet that doesn't give a fuck about what they have to say. Like, there are pockets of humanity doing what you're advocating for. Why are you trying to argue and convince people who have told you they're not buying what you're selling? Like, if you really think that that's the most important thing is for women to be chaste, and hey, 23 is kind of old, cool. In Utah, they banging 14, 15-year-olds. They got child brides. Like, look, y'all are basically here to be pure, to only have fucked me, and to make babies until you die. And they're not worried about their birth rates.
Right.
Mormons are making fucking babies,
Right.
and Mormons are getting money. Mormons have basically their own economy. They own a state. They own a state. The Mormons have done in 100 years what all of this rhetoric on Facebook has, and we haven't even made 1% of a dent for all the rhetoric when you talk about community and consciousness and changes and what needs to be done for solidarity and amassing wealth, and it's all fucking rhetoric. The Mormons fucking got to it. And you know how they did it? With a fucking cult. With a big fucking lie.
Absolutely.
Hey, I talked to some fucking angel. He gave me some fucking glasses. Cool shit. Saw some tablets. You can't read them. Only I can see them. It's special.
Yo,
But basically,
how
here's
old
what it
was he
said.
too, by the way? Wasn't he like fucking 18, 14 years old too?
He was super
I
young
don't
when
know.
he did it, but he's a
Yeah,
genius.
when I heard about that, I was like, what?
Genius.
This man figured it out
Genius.
early.
In other words, if you have any fear, any issue with the birth rate and how many women are choosing to have children, the only legal recourse you have is to find women and convince them to have
In
your
Utah.
children. Yeah, go find women to get pregnant. You don't get to lecture women who don't want to have kids. What you do, find women who want to have kids and convince them to let you impregnate them. Problem solved.
Well, what they're mad about is that they're not able to do that, and they're complaining it's because it's the fault of a culture that's not socializing women to be that way, which is legitimate.
That's true.
Which is true. Which is why you can't throw out cults, culture, and religion. That shit is what makes humans less of the fuckery that we have.
Those guys are full of shit because when nobody's looking, he's gonna try to beg.
Of course.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course.
I mean, so, but some are legitimate. I mean, we could at least agree on paper that if we were going to have an ideal society where human relationships were functional and equitable and weren't exploitative, right? We would have some sort of moral standard, right? If we cared how we were gonna. I mean, that's all that shit is how you're shepherding humanity, right? If people are just fucking indiscriminately and having babies indiscriminately, you don't have strong family relationships. And if you're talking about there's some tribal situation and y'all got to go to war with other tribes and shit, you're not going to have much unity if, you know, Darren is banging everybody's wife in the fucking in the tribe. People are going to be like, fuck Darren. I don't like Darren.
Darren gonna have
like
a
so
hunting
you have
accident.
some sort of right. So you're going to have some kind of rules. So we say, look, guys, I get it. I want to fuck everybody. You want to fuck everybody. Hey, Terry here has even been fucking the goats. We got to write some shit down to get some structure around here because we're just not going to be as sophisticated and as organized as the tribe down the street. And then they get the vibranium and then we're fucked. And then they get the unobtainium and then we're fucked. So we got to get our shit together. So from now on, no fucking the animals, no fucking each other's wives. We got to only have kids with one woman. We're going to have this unit. And so then you start having eugenic ceremonies. Like, yeah, you know, man and a woman are going to be married forever and then they're going to create. And what are the rules for that? Well, it has to be within our tribe and has to be within our religion. Eugenics. Gotcha. Like, we're practicing eugenics and we've got a ceremony centered around it. And even like when you read the Bible and it talks about like the priesthood, it's like, look, the nose can't be too big. Ears can't be good. His face needs to be symmetrical. I thought I was just burning incense and shit. Like, why do I gotta have these nice features? Because eugenics. Because that's it. It's all fucking eugenics. And so there's rules to procreation and why we're doing it and the rules centered around it. And everything from there stems from there on how does our community work? How does our civilization work? What are the rules? So you gotta have some sort of basic structure. And so because we've abandoned cults and religious influence completely, now all these dudes that are naturally having some sort of like, I don't think it's right that women are basically just treated as objects and now they can do it for their own profit and they don't need us and we can't make them fuck us no more. Like everything about this seems morally wrong. It's like, yeah, something within you is telling you morally wrong, but you don't want to connect it to any sort of higher order or cosmic order, religious order, or something that human beings need. We have some sort of ethical component to us. You don't want to see it that way. So you're just complaining that things have gone amok. But what you're really saying is, I wish we had a religious structure to our culture. That's what you're really saying.
Yeah.
So like I said, just move to Utah. It's out there for you, dude. You're just going to have to
make
join
your own. Make your own religion.
Or make your own, even
Start
better.
your own. Get you a piece of land. Make yourself the pastor, the priest, the guru, whatever you want to call it, if that's what you think it takes. But I think two of the things that stand out the most, first of all, this could be going in a good direction. We can't just assume that this is how society collapses. This could be leading to a place where people on both sides start to understand themselves and each other a little bit better. That could be, I'm not positive, but it could happen. Because, one, I think dudes in general, men need to learn to value themselves a little bit more when it comes to chastity. Because I think men, they point out how women benefit from it, but they don't want to believe that men can benefit from it too. And just having respect for yourself and not being willing to smash everything that moves. There's some power in that. Two, women are possibly, I think they're going to learn how to stratify themselves a little bit more, because in their mind they're all the same because they all have a vagina. And dudes have confirmed that because they're like, oh yeah, like you could be married to a supermodel and you'll smash the fucking, the waitress or the whatever, somebody who's not in the same quote unquote, league as the person you're already with. And they was like, I don't care, I'll hit anything. So if that's the energy, they know you'll hit anything, then they all think they're equal. Right? Which is not true, because dudes are not going to take them all seriously. Some of them will be taken seriously. Some of them will actually be chosen for a long-term commitment. And the other ones are just going to get played with, and it's not going to make sense to them why they got played with. They're like, oh, I'm the same as her. How come I can't get? It's because you're not. And they're going to learn to stratify themselves a little bit more and not being like, well, this is something that the dudes complain about a lot. And I think it's hilarious. So a regular chick in Utah now who would normally be available for the regular guy down the street to take on a date in court and all of that. Now she has Instagram and Snapchat. So there's dudes all over the world not just in Utah, that could look at her and take a few minutes every day to make her think that he's really attracted to her. He could send her good morning, beautiful text and all of that. So now she's looking at the regular dude down the street like, well, fuck this guy, because this dude in Miami sends me good morning texts and he wants to smash. He's going to fly me out, And then how many times does she have to get, flown out and masturbated in before she comes back home to Utah? Like, this shit ain't actually working out. So now the guy down the street can have her after she's, destroyed herself repeatedly. After she's destroyed herself repeatedly. Now then she'll be like, you know what? You were right. You should have been my high school sweetheart. And that's what dudes are complaining about. It like, yo, that's not fair to us. How come she gets bounced on all over the place and then, brings us back to wizard sleeve? And maybe that's not fair.
That's why you don't ask questions.
Oh no, you're gonna know. You're gonna know because she's not gonna. Yeah, she's not gonna be normal after that. And I'm not saying women aren't normal after they've been destroyed. I'm just saying she's not.
That is the reality though. Once they're destroyed, they're not coming back normal. It's just
man.
There. It's there. It's proof. It's
Look,
there.
The firecracker pussy will give it away.
If you could stop him from being actually destroyed, then you might be able to save him. But once they get destroyed, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It
ain't coming back.
Just forget it.
Unless you come to us, and we'll give you the sacred waters.
Right.
Rejuvenated waters.
Right. We do have it, but that costs. That's not that's expensive.
That's not free.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find somebody to sponsor that for you because he's gonna be the one waiting for you when you come back from the program.
Yeah, man. The more we go over this, the more I'm convinced that our original concept of the sacred whore was right on the money.
Oh yeah.
Only people who are functional and going to raise their kids should be breeding, should be getting together and making children. And everybody else is like, look, we have this biological impulse to fuck, but we're self-aware enough to know I shouldn't be trying to get involved with another human being to ruin their life and ruin our offspring's life. Right. So I'm just going to go to the sacred whore and masturbate into her, and she's going to serve like a Marine for 10 years and then go through the 18-month debriefing in the rejuvenating waters and come home a hero. Free drinks forever. Like, that is more like, we would think like, well, the role of a soldier is essential. We got to go to war. Sometimes we just have to kill people in other countries. If you think solving the world's problems, that soldiers are that instrumental, I guarantee you the sacred whore is way more instrumental.
Oh, 100%.
Way more valuable. 100%. Way more valuable.
It works for the Navy
than the soldier.
Right, well, and those aren't even. They aren't even.
That's
sacred.
A hybrid role.
They aren't even sacred.
Right, they're whores. Yeah,
and I think that's what it should be referred to forever too. Like when you go see the sacred whore, you're never having sex, you're not making love, you're not doing none of that. No, you're masturbating into the sacred whore. That's exactly how it's going to be referred. It's mechanical. Like, you're going to enjoy it. She's been highly trained, but it's going to be mechanical. So you don't confuse it with what you're going to be doing with the actual person that you choose to be with. They're going to be very different.
Honor courtesans.
Yeah,
honor them. They're heroes.
Yeah, 100%. I'd rather have a sign outside. If I owned a restaurant, I would definitely have a sign that said "Sacred whores get bottomless mimosas." I probably would not have a sign marketed to Marines or veterans or nothing like that. I wouldn't. But if it was the sacred whores, definitely get bottomless mimosas at all times.
Absolutely. Come on in.
You show me your card. You've been rejuvenated in the sacred waters. You show me your card.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Salute. Thank you for your service.
That's all it takes is 3 months.
You stopped 617 mass shootings last year. Right. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Statistically proven, and we got hundreds of them on the government payroll. You get your stipend sent out. You can go visit them like once or twice a month, depending on what level of stress you have in your life. If you got it easy, you may only get one visit a month. But if you're stressed, you got a rough job, you can get a few visits a month. I think that's important. That's definitely a major part of the compendium, making space for the sacred whores and purifying sacred waters. That's going to clean them up and straighten them out for 90 days before we reintegrate them back into society to be mates for nice guys. That's specifically who they're for. For like the the manager at Walmart.
He deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She'll fulfill all his fantasies, bro. He'll be the happiest man ever. And she'll be happy because she went through her debriefing. So she'll know how important it is to have somebody like that.
And you know what we'll do? Just like you have soldiers, right? And we honor them and we respect them, right? But we don't honor them and respect them like Call of Duty players. You would never tell a Call of Duty player, a professional Call of Duty player, thank you for your service. Right. You're helping keep civilization together, right? OnlyFans models are basically the Call of Duty players to the service of the sacred whores.
Right.
You would immediately make them less interesting, less profitable. You would plummet their stock, which I would love to see. The arrogance of these useless butthole spreading bitches that are making all of this money with no talent. Like, no, but people paid attention to me first, and I have an OnlyFans. No, shut up.
That is a little bit of a
Stop
talent.
it.
It's a little bit of a talent, I have to say. Not everybody can do
really
that. Not everybody can do it, first of all. Second of all, to find a niche market, for you to go out in the world and find dudes who are willing to buy your used panties for
and never
$100,
touch you.
I have to say that's a skill.
I respect the hustle.
That's a great hustle.
I don't think it's a skill. I think it's just like being any drug dealer. Remember all of the shows, dude, when we were kids, lied to you. This is how it's going to be when somebody wants to sell you drugs. Hey, man, you get the first one for free, man. Come on, bro. You want these drugs, right? Come on, don't be a pussy. Take these drugs. Never happened.
Never.
Been to many a drug deal.
Never.
It is always like, yo, where the fuck is my weed man? What the fuck is he taking? I can't wait to get these drugs. Everybody was seeking the drugs out.
Right.
They couldn't wait to get them. Nobody had to push. You have a fucking depraved society out there. It's just like, can I please sniff some crusty panties? Is anybody? And they just met a market need for basically drug addicts.
Yeah,
like,
Dare did a
dopamine
horrible
receptors
job.
are fucked.
We have to discuss about how Dare didn't do anything good.
It was just it was marketing. That's all. I don't think they ever really intended
Dare
to.
taught
as soon as hip hop came into my life, and I seen Half Baked, I've always wanted to try.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to, and like I've always wanted to just smoke weed. I've never been in the mood to do cocaine, but weed, yes.
You haven't seen the right movies yet, bro.
I haven't talked to the right person. I ain't talked to the right person.
You haven't.
No, I couldn't sniff anything up my nose. That just freaks me out.
Listen,
I can't
get yourself about 6 cups of coffee and listen to the Purple Tape, and you'll get the urge. Yeah. You'll be like right on the edge, like damn.
No, I listen to Joey
do.
Diaz. I listen to Joey Diaz. He talks about cocaine like it's
his coke stories are pretty funny.
It's beautiful, but nah, man, I couldn't just think about those. I couldn't do it.
Now, it's always been, weed has always been cool in the media. The Rostas smoke it, the hippies, the social dudes.
Jamaicans, all
and
that.
Cocaine was like for criminals and junkies, except for when you watch some of the the 80s movies or something like that will have some weirdo in a club sniffing it, but they always look strange. It was never presented as cool as weed was. Never. I don't think the marketing team for cocaine, they didn't get the memo. I don't know if there is a way to make it look cool. I don't know. If you already do it, it looks cool. Like if you already do cocaine and you watch Scarface, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, buddy. But if you're a regular person, you watch Scarface, it's like you get a headache when you see him sniffing that coke. It's like, this is terrible.
It looks sad.
It does.
Look. Smoking is something just cool about smoking.
It definitely is.
There's just no way around it.
It's destroying your lungs, but it just feels like the coolest thing in the world.
Your bronchial tubes are fucked, but damn if you don't look cool. But you never look cool sticking anything inside of you. Never.
Yeah, that's true.
Never.
That's true.
Look. If you grab some of them screen grabs of bitches getting fucked, right? Goofy faces, goofy positions. You got something going inside of you. Smoke a cigarette. Now stick a tube up your ass. What do you look cooler doing? You look goofy with the tube in your ass. No, you look goofy with the tube. You look goofy with the Q-tip in your ear. You can never be cool sticking and it's just too much. Like I understand it goes in your mouth, but you're just smoking it, right? It's not going, you know what I mean? It's not going in. You know, with Coke, you got to sniff the shit
Yeah,
through your
always bad.
orifices.
Always bad.
Yeah.
It always is going to look goofy by comparison.
Yeah, terrible. Always bad. This is not one that's going to be acceptable in our particular cult, but you can, again, you're open to organize your cult however you see fit. You can totally start the day off with a couple bars right off the kitchen table if that's part of your plan for long-term success.
If it gets you fixing the farm, I'm
right.
not gonna judge.
Hey, I'm not gonna judge you at all. I'm not gonna judge you at all. I'll be looking like, hey, that guy's getting a lot of work done today.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I've never seen cows with more irritated udders, just yanking on those things.
If you are having a decent job, your work, you're successful. You know, you go to your man, you give the money, it comes back, and then you're like the most functioning guy in the farm. I'm not gonna judge you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna judge you.
Much. It's not my business.
I'm gonna be wondering how you're breaking fucking records. Like, how did you seed those seedlings so quick, so many, so quick? I have to learn.
He's gonna take a little tiny silver spoon off his necklace. Like, I'll show you the secrets. I'll show you the secrets. But I think the coca leaves is probably cool, right? Chewing the coca leaves. If you just grew the plant.
They say.
You just chew it. Yeah.
They say that the ones with the cocoa leaf chewing, it's nowhere near as bad when it comes to when you have compared to cocaine.
Of course.
Chewing it is like, you can do that all day long, no problem, yada yada, like drinking coffee, compared to, man.
Right, because you know what that is? That's nature.
Yes.
Once you put the Yakubian spin on it, once you get Babylon involved, then you get some weird shit where you're sticking shit up your nose.
Yeah.
It's not how nature intended it.
No, nobody needs that shit, bro. It's all get some herbs, get the mushrooms, right? Those are the cool ones. And the LSD is kind of cool too, but it is like crossing over into the chemical shit. It's just, these things are just split down the middle.
Yeah.
It's just one side or the other.
Cross.
Yeah, I mean, I still dig it. I don't think I
want to try.
I haven't had an experience that would make me say, oh, I wouldn't do it anymore. But if I have the choice, mushrooms, LSD, I'll go with mushrooms always.
I have to say though, I do enjoy the mushroom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah, that shit's amazing.
Yeah, just stick with nature.
Nature's
that seems to be.
And it's Mother Nature, so I want to just put my head in her motorboater and just have fun. Mother Nature.
Motorboat and Mother Nature, bro. Have you ever seen, what is this? This is is this it right here? There's this drug. I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show, but maybe we can listen to a little bit of it. This guy's smart, bro. There's some kind of weird ass drug that they do in South America somewhere, and they said it's the world's most addictive drug. And it's like these two plants that you eat. Like, eating one at a time doesn't really do much, but if you chew them both together, it just gets you ripped. Let me see.
Brought to you by Wondrium. Wondrium is where you could place. Look, I love learning, involving library, adding special people in your life, or even today. And now today's video. Travelers in rural South Asia are sometimes shocked to find groups of people with horrifically rotten teeth spitting what looks like blood onto the ground. But what they're witnessing isn't some terrifying tropical disease, it's betel nut chewing, the fourth most consumed drug in the world after nicotine, alcohol, and caffeine. The aracholine...
Dude, so the fourth most consumed drug in the world comes from betel nut, like he's saying, and it's also something else. They sell it with like some kind of crazy white powder and shit, and people just chew up. It's crazy. This shit's ridiculous.
Betel nut is not a nut, and it has nothing to do with an insect, thankfully. It's also not one thing, but it's a combination of 3 ingredients: a betel leaf, an areca palm seed, and slaked lime. The most common way to buy it is as a betel quid, where the 3 items have already been assembled. It's like buying a pre-rolled joint. The betel leaf is a dark green, heart-shaped leaf that comes from the climbing betel
Wakanda,
plant.
bro.
On its own, it's not too bad for you, and there are claims that it has some medicinal and breath-freshening properties. It tastes bitter and peppery, but it's not going to get
But
you.
it don't get
The
you
slaked
fucked
lime
up.
might seem like an odd choice to
And
have
lime,
something
that's
cheap.
really weird.
Its purpose in the betel nut is to cause thousands of tiny microabrasions in your mouth.
Oh
This
my
lets
God.
the juices in and provides a better high. Without it, it can be hard to feel the effects. Extra ingredients like ginger, nutmeg, cardamom, and clove are sometimes added to improve the taste. Modern quids use
Good Lord, bro. Yeah, that just reminded me we was talking about chewing the leaf, but this is a completely natural leaves and substances. I guess even the lime is natural, but these people doing this shit are getting fucked up, extremely addictive, and it destroys their mouths. But they're like, bro, I'm getting baked for cheap though, so.
It's all natural too.
I'm getting baked for cheap. Yeah, it's just like a little acorn. It's, it ain't nothing. It's not really a drug. I don't even know if they could.
Who needs teeth?
Who could even outlaw it? You could probably. Do you think you could outlaw something like that? If you at
It's
the
too much of a
beach-
combination of different stuff.
right. You at the beach just selling like a leaf, an almond, and some baking soda. I'm sure the cops would want to lock you up, but I don't think you can get arrested for that. But this shit is hardcore, bro. That's some strong stuff. Good thing they don't have that shit over here, because this will be, everybody will be around your the local Circle K, spitting red juice from the betel nut. Now they're just drinking Four Locos, so you're lucky. Four Locos.
Pretty sure we could sell that product in Skid Row, make a killing.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna sell something, you probably want something that's gonna work a little faster, especially over there. Skid Row, they need like a truck that can vacuum up full-size humans. That's what you need over there.
You got people showing up with needles in their arm. They're not going to be like, I got to chew a leaf and do what? That shit's going to take forever.
Nah,
If I
it's too
can't
much.
mainline it, I'm not interested.
Nah, you need like a street sweeper, like a truck, like the kind of trucks that sweep the side of the road. You need one that can just run people over and pick them up and put them in the back. Of course, the back is like padded. It's not, inhumane or nothing. But you got to be able to just run people over, vacuum them up, pick up a truck full of people, and take them to where you need them to be.
Yeah, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's
The future is trucks, cleaning the streets, giving charity. Just unmarked vans, either shooting Cheeto slurry for nourishment to the impoverished, or just with a big hose sucking up undesirables.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
just
fair.
love it. I think that's what the FBI should be. Fuck doing the surveillance and spying on citizens. Like, if you're gonna have these black vans parked around, listen, just get the Cheeto slurry van, get the hose to suck up the homeless van. That's what the FBI should do. That we would be much better off.
I say, I'm down. I wouldn't sign anything. I wouldn't vote for it. But if I heard that that's what they were doing, I wouldn't be mad. The FBI.
You express your approval.
Yeah, they'd just be like, yo, we stopping all surveillance. We're not thinking about none of that shit right now.
There's no
just
need for
vote
giving
it.
away for free. There's no need for them
Right,
doing it.
We're getting out of the COINTELPRO game and the espionage game, and
Yeah.
we're getting in the charity game and the homeless relocation game.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think
I
we
like
need to
it.
build a chowder chute in L.A. Somewhere near Skid Row is where the chowder chute should go.
Great place to start.
Great place to start. And I think, and one update I made was that the pipes can't be coming directly out of the walls at like a 90-degree angle because somebody's going to get hurt. So you got to make them slant downwards. So that way it'll be a lot more difficult for people to get injured. So we'll have about between 8 and 16 pipes around the side of the building. We'll have a silo up above the building, and that'll just be where we keep all the chowder. And we just shoot chowder.
Dude,
3
what you're
times a day.
describing, it almost looks like a church organ.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a pipe organ.
Yep.
I kind of.
Listen, if IKEA can sell horse meat and everybody love it,
It was good.
I don't see anything ethically wrong with the shoot.
No, it was good. It was good. The
No,
meatballs
not
were
at
good.
all.
Yeah, no, a chowder shoot, that's charity. How could you complain a restaurant that's giving out free food? How can you complain? There's no possible way you could create a complaint. They're giving out free food. What other restaurants giving out free food?
And you could be so much meaner to homeless people when you dismiss them. Fuck no, I'm not giving you shit. If you're hungry, hit the chowder chute.
Go to chowder chute, bro.
Go to the pipe organ.
What you begging for money for?
Organ,
Food's over there on a daily basis.
Chowder.
Yep. And you can get a subsidized ride to the chowder chute. That's the only place we can take you for subsidized rides. Is no matter what part of town you in, you can get a ride to the nearest chowder chute.
It's like a little golf cart, like themed like a clam. It's kind of shaped like a clam with wheels.
Yeah.
It's like the shuttle. It's the shuttle to the chowder chute.
Yep. And that's a government job. You got insurance. And all you do is drive around and drop people off. It's like the parking meter. People. It's like the lady who reads the parking meter. You just get you a little van with like a little pull cart behind it, and you can take people to the chowder chute.
Oh, I love that commercial. Yeah, I'd love to get to the, I'd love to get to the chowder chute, but I'm too high on fentanyl to move. How can I eat at the chowder chute? Right. We've got you covered. Our state employees that drive the fucking clam mobiles will pick you up and shuttle you to the chowder chute.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
They got earplugs in.
That's bureaucracy I can get behind.
Yeah, they got an earplug so they can't hear nothing you say. They just pick you up, ignore you, and take you to the chowder chute, drop you off.
They don't acknowledge your humanity at all. You about to eat out of a church organ tube and get sprayed in the face with clam chowder. I'm not even. There's got to be like a limo partition, a bulletproof panel in the behind the golf cart where he sits. Like it's really just like your cargo. They're not acknowledging you.
That's something that I think the average taxpayer could get behind. Like, this is how we fix it. I know you're always telling billionaires to give more and all these plans for money and food and all this stuff. What about the chowder chute? It's not demeaning.
God, dude.
That's what they're going to go. They're going to go to inhumane. Have you seen the videos of the people complaining? The migrants are getting shipping container homes and they're complaining about them. And just like, this shit ain't good enough. How you expect me to live here? It's like, well, you can go back if you want. I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, if this shipping container home's not good enough, you definitely leave. And that's how it would be at the chowder chute.
You lived in a genocidal desert. What the fuck are you complaining about? You live in a box. Be happy. Be thankful.
No, it's not good enough.
It's done. Charity's not appreciated. I no longer believe in compassionate charity. Bare minimum charity. That's it. Well, I'm not getting you a container house. I'm not doing shit for you. Save yourself. The most I'll do is I'm not even going to endanger somebody's life. Talking about a bulletproof partition, somebody driving. No. This is going to be drones. It's going to be remote controlled clam golf carts that pick up and shuttle the people. I'm not going to endanger somebody.
No, dude. No, we can't help. I think we've already solved that. We said it. We're not going to help until we have escape pod money. Once we got escape pod money, then, I'll recalibrate. I'm not going to say what we will or won't do because you never know until you get the escape pod money. You can make a lot of promises on the front end and then you realize how much you like Rolexes and Lamborghinis later on. And that would be your right. That would totally be up to you. Totally be up. You can do whatever you want. Just remember the bare minimum that you should be shooting for as a human. The bare minimum is to just mind your business and survive. That's the bare minimum. We can't pretend the bare minimum is, trying to stop world hunger or fucking trying to take on climate change single-handedly. That's upper level hero shit. That's not regular. Regular, all you got to do is mind your business and survive. And that's fair. That's fair for anybody who's doing it. Yeah, I don't care if you are, a fucking carpenter, you just minding your business and surviving, or if you're Jeff Bezos.
And this is Britain, right?
Yeah, I think so. Homeless children.
Right, Longshanks.
Yeah.
Longshanks, Braveheart, Monty Python. I just want to remember, what was it, Francis Drake? I'm just trying to remember. So this is England, and we have an African newscaster and two Muslim chicks with hijabs.
Yeah.
This is Britain. Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yep. This is what's happening.
Because if you showed me Nigeria, and I saw two Asian girls, and and a tiny Peruvian man, I would double check. I'm like, this is Nigeria, right? It is Nigeria. Okay, cool. I can tell by the accents.
This is, hold on, let me see what they're saying.
It is for you. Okay, living here is very, very difficult for any type of family, especially me having a special need child with my older son. He's almost 13. He's got severe autism.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Inbreeding is the problem. She just said, I have a child with my oldest son. Continue.
She said, wait. Rewind that.
Wait.
Rewind that.
That might have been a misspeak.
This is some Ilhan Omar shit.
Difficult it is for you. Okay, living here is very, very difficult for any type of family, especially me having a special need child with my older son. He's almost 18. He's got severe autism, learning difficulty, has no danger awareness, and he has not spoken yet. For the council to choose this kind of property to put a family with a special need child, knowing that my son, he's a very active child, he needs to run around, he needs to,
which we can hear.
He don't.
He don't need to run around.
Right.
He needs a helmet and a padded ring. He needs a helmet and a leash. He doesn't need to run around.
He needs constant supervision. He'll be raping girls on buses. He doesn't know any better. You can't let him out.
They clearly have him in the room.
Right. Not only they have him in the room, somebody's poking him with a stick. Make retard sounds. Boom, boom. We need people to feel sad.
He's a tearjerker.
We get a sense of just how small it is, but I just wondered if you could give our viewers
that guy's British, right?
The scope of just how difficult
it
is
lost
for
right now.
children.
It's like this is how Brooklyn looks.
Just how difficult it is with 4 children. You have
It's
4
very,
children in a
it's
2-bedroom
very,
container.
very difficult because, as you can see, there's no place even we can call a sitting room. The place is a shipping container. This is a cargo container. This is not for human being. This is a mental torture, more like it. Because more living here is not for families, for nobody. Maybe for a normal bachelor, they can cope for temporary accommodation.
Bitch, why do we owe you a house? Why do we owe you a house? And everybody's complaining. You moved to England. All of you. None of you are English.
Oh, wow.
None of you are English. The black dude was like, look, I'm going to England. Why don't you just stay in Jamaican? Fuck that. I'm not staying in Jamaica. Jamaica sucks since the colonizers left. I'm going to England. These bitches, basically we're either going to get gang raped or we're not going to learn how to read. One of my kids is gay. I don't want him to get thrown off the roof of a building. Let's go to England. All this complaining about white supremacy and white people and how shitty white people are. And all of these people that aren't white falling over each other. I can't get to the white man's land fast enough. I gotta get over there. And when I get there, you know what he did? You know what this white man had the nerve to do? Give me a free house made out of a shipping container.
A shipping
How dare
container.
He?
That's
Why
mental torture.
Why don't I get a regular house?
That's mental
torture. Yo, man.
You know what else is
back to
mental
their
torture?
country origin.
You know what else is mental torture? Is sleeping outside.
Poking your retarded son in the background.
That's sleeping too. Outside with 4 children because you don't have a home in the place that you just escaped to. That would be mental torture too. Instead, you're in a actual domicile and complaining on the news about it. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
That's a level of self-awareness that you don't see very often.
Not all. And when you're in a tent and there's no wall that acts as a partition, you hear that all night. There's no relief from it. At least in the shipping container, you got the semblance of a wall. You could put up some soundproofing. That shit is like what, 50 cents a pad? Buy some soundproofing. Give us some NyQuil.
Just give him some NyQuil.
Yeah.
Beat him until he shuts up.
You can't. He's a special need. You can't.
You can't. You can't. You just can't use something.
Absolutely can't.
You can't. You can't use something.
Look,
too rigid.
Get him on a bus with some dumb kid stuff. Just get him on a bus with some dumb kid stuff. He'll go right to sleep.
That'll fix him. That'll fix him.
That'll learn him.
Yeah, we'll get some chimps to put him to sleep.
Give him melatonin. Give him some NyQuil at night. Easy fix.
Like they told us it was a temporary accommodation, but from the temporary it became a long-term thing.
Leading council have said that
hardwood floors, you ungrateful bitch.
A homeless crisis.
She's complaining about this.
You know, perhaps a lot of people say it's better than being on the streets.
Oh, yeah, we are just one step close to being in the street.
Can we pause
People on the
this for a
street
second?
are getting air.
It's just hard for
She
me to
said
take this-
people. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me just give her 10 more seconds to finish.
Yeah,
her
no,
point.
get it. Yeah, get another one. Get it.
I can't believe this. Okay.
We are just one step close to being in the street. People on the street are getting air. We are in a box. We're in a container.
She said people on the street are getting air. We're in a box.
Okay, but I just want to add this note. She sounds like she's speaking British English, so she's been there long enough to put herself in a better position, because she clearly could speak British English pretty well. Like, I don't hear an accent of like a different country, like she just got off the boat.
Right.
Right.
She seems
She's
like
been
she's
here
she's been
making
bubbling.
retarded babies and not contributing to society
what I'm saying,
for fucking decades. Decades to have a fucking British accent. I want to drop kick this bitch in the chest. What a fucking useless human being. What a useless, demanding person. If we were back in tribal times, bitch, what would you have to contribute? This is why Lot tried to get a whole town to rape you. You
Right.
didn't offer anything.
Right.
You had no value to offer. You were just complaining, oh, why do we have to live in the hut? Bitch, do you know how long it took me to build this hut? You
No,
have any
because she was
idea?
relaxing. She was relaxing in her vibe. She don't have to worry about all that stuff. She gets to come here and complain about it when you're done creating it. She's just gonna be mad about
Yo,
it.
man.
I'd like to know. I would
got-
love to know what is an acceptable alternative. That's what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to know. Like, what's the bottom line? Because if this is unacceptable, if this is mental torture, well, I kind of feel like she wants a nice posh apartment.
I guarantee you this bitch does not come from a country with running water. Bitch, you got a stove, you got a toilet, you got a
The
shower.
fact that
you
she's
got
complaining, she's not
It is
from a
definitely
country.
not hardwood. It's imitation laminate
But
type
hey,
shit,
listen.
I'm sure. But
But
it
it
still
looks
looks
nice.
nice.
It looks nice.
You sorry bitch. I got no patience for this dumb shit.
It's for you to storage things.
You get a sense just there how.
Look at look, she's chilling.
Look at all the useless shit you've amassed.
Mental torture. She got a microwave. She got a TV. Mental
That
torture,
is a
bro.
bachelor pad. If I had a job, I'll be chilling on
Look at
that
that big
chair.
ass Dasani water bottle.
That's a microwave right
She's not even
there.
drinking cheap bottled water. She's drinking Dasani, bro. It's mental torture.
She got 2 microwaves at that.
Yeah, this is wild.
Difficult it is for Lulu. Latifah, you're worried about your safety because you said that you've injured yourself whilst being inside this
She's
container.
laughing.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, whatever.
On the hob, I've burnt my arm,
I don't believe you.
and the
Beautiful
stairs
English,
are
by the
extremely
way.
unsafe because
Right.
when it really gets wet, and you would trip over and hurt your knee.
You were telling me.
It sounds like you a clumsy
You have
bitch.
to tell your friends where you live.
Yeah, because it's not like a normal home. It feels nothing like home. It's just the same as homeless people, but with 4 walls and a door.
So not homeless.
And that's those
Oh
points.
my
is
God.
Exactly.
It's
and
just like
that-
getting raped,
It's-
but without the
it's just-
penetration. It's
Nothing like
it's
home.
just like
It's-
being on an
it's just
airplane
the same
except in
as
the
homeless
ocean.
people, but
What?
with 4 walls and a door.
It's just the same as homeless
That's
people,
a quote.
but with 4 walls and a door. You know,
But
same
with the
thing.
very thing that renders them no longer homeless.
Right, it's just like that. It's the same
And-
thing. In microwaves and TVs and stoves and toilets where we poop on
Yes.
clean water. It's just like being homeless. It's mental
Fucking
torture.
goofy bunny tooth bitch. Get these fucking useless humans off of the screen.
See, and this is what
I'm
I've been
fucking
saying.
disgusted.
This is exactly what I'm saying. People will take it. They're
This
gonna
is
push
why
it
you
till it
spray
breaks.
them
With a blink of an eye.
hot Cheetos
Blink.
slurry. That's it.
Blink.
Spray them with hot
Yes.
Cheetos slurry at the border and turn their asses around.
Yeah,
The
drop
Great
'em off.
Reset needs to change. Stop trying to ruin the economy. The Great Reset is everybody has to go back to their country of origin. You got to go back. If you're not here 3 generations, you got to leave. You got to go. You can't stay and complain and make your way somewhere. And then look, you guys figured out civilization better. You owe me a part of it. No, they don't. If you want to have so much pride and wave your flag and keep your customs, stay in your country and make it fucking better. It's just like, hey, you guys figured out how to do lots of cool shit. You owe me that. No, they don't. Well, you're a racist. Okay, I'll be a racist. Here's some hot Cheeto slurry, bitch. I'm spraying you down. This is as much charity as I have for you. Go build your own fucking tiny house.
I'll gift you an Uber to the closest chowder shoot, but that's the best I can do for you. I'm sorry, that's all I can do for you. You can't stay here. You get a couple visits to the chowder shoot, and you gotta go.
How are we taking this seriously? You remember,
because they're brown. Because they're brown. Right. It's too easy. Nobody can be like, hey, they're ungrateful. What do you mean? They should be grateful to their oppressors? So it's like it's nothing but booby traps everywhere for cis white folks. A lot of booby traps. They're treating J.K. Rowling pretty bad right now too. She just put out a video game that they say is transphobic and anti-Semitic. Because I think in the game,
switch it up.
In the game, there's a race of elves or something like that they're trying to have a rebellion, and you're supposed to stop their rebellion. So technically, you're keeping them oppressed in the game. So that it's anti-Semitic.
As they should be.
Right.
Hitler told you what happens when you let the elves get too powerful. And I always knew elves was a metaphor for us.
Oh no,
goofy, big-eared.
What did they call
them? They're
them?
not tough.
I don't know what they're
called. Dude, it was always
goblins.
apparent to me. Nah, orcs, I was like, that's Arabians or black people for sure. The elves, I'm like, that's us. They're not tough. They're very bookish. They got giant ears, and I'm like, yeah, that's us. I got you, dude. Come on.
I'm not sure.
That's some 1930s propaganda, dude.
I'm not sure. J.K. Rowling is pretty cool. I mean, is this?
That's in a banned book. Look at him with his stacks of coins. Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm not fully sold on.
Look, and I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at it all. Good for her. Call us out. We do stack up coins like that. You're right. And we do got big ass fucking ears that stick out. You're right. I'm not mad.
Oh, no.
I got a couple selfies with some coins stacked.
It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Gringotts and goblins.
I'm sure can't trust them. I know that much.
Yeah,
nah, but I gotta hear their voice. If he's like, oh, pointy, my allergies. Then I'm like, all right, bitch.
Oh my!
I see what you did there.
I'm gonna have to find some video footage of
man.
Cause I don't know, dude. I don't remember ever really seeing them. I think they are called goblins. Harry Potter.
I don't care. Can we just get a cannon? And shoot these ungrateful bitches back to the desert? Just please. You got to go back. Spray them, load them up with some hot Cheeto slurry, put them in the cannon and fire away.
I know we're not going to be able to show much of this, but...
I got to hear their voice, though. We got to get to the voice. Talk, you motherfucker.
What exactly are these things?
Goblins, Harry.
What are these things?
Now, who are these people?
Best stay close.
Okay, well, here it is.
Yeah, the kid touchers. Don't get near him.
Mr. Harry Potter wishes to make a withdrawal.
He's dead too, by the way. Big guy.
And does Mr. Harry Potter have his key?
Nah, they're not like.
Wait a minute.
They're not too goblin-y.
Yeah, they're British.
Yeah, they're British. So that's not too
But
bad.
come on, that don't look like. Hold on. Pull up Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh my.
Pull up a picture of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Go back a couple frames. Just go back a couple frames. Do me that solid, please. Okay. So go back a couple of frames. Just a couple of frames where she's looking down. Get one. All right. Now get one of her from behind the bench. And you tell me. No, one of the older ones. All right. Now you tell me I'm wrong. Look, I'll give away all the Jew secrets.
I'm not sure, but I'm sensing a little bit of a similarity here. I'm not positive. Let me get a head-on shot. Right there.
Look,
okay.
if that bitch had an iPhone, his face would do the face unlock. The iPhone wouldn't know. It'd be like, all right, you're in.
I don't think an iPhone could tell these two apart. Yeah, pretty close. But hey, listen, I ain't mad. You gotta have villains. The villains look like villains, you know? We don't have to read that much into it. We don't have to pretend we know what's going through her head when she designs these characters and all of that. We just, I trust her. She's cool. She's cool with me. She hasn't done anything to piss me off yet. So I ain't mad. We just got to get Ruth Bader Ginsburg off the screen.
And we want representation, right? We want equality and representation. We need black villains. We need Jew villains. We got white villains. We need white villains. We need villains of every stripe. There's enough villainy to go around.
This is a fact, and that's in real life, and in adventures and fantasies. There's enough villainy to go around. You're not going to find anywhere that is devoid of villainy by any group of people anywhere at any given time. So, everybody.
You know what? Listen. I guarantee you, I gotta look up this bitch's birthday, but I'm gonna be like, 76 years ago, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was born, and what a wonderful woman, all she did on the court. And I'm gonna write that blurb, and I'm gonna post that picture and just see if anybody notices.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I got a feeling people are gonna like it and be like, yeah, man, RBG was the shit.
Yeah, I can't even tell which one is which anymore, just from switching back and forth. It blended together in my brain now. It's the same person. It's the same person. It's terrible that you were able to just pull that name off the top.
You have to put it on Midjourney. Can you please put this on Midjourney?
Don't get his Midjourney account banned.
Yeah, it's gonna get banned. It's like, we know what you're doing, bro. We're gonna Kanye.
We know where you're going with this.
We know exactly what we're doing. Yeah, I feel it. But no, we are definitely. I think we solved some intelligent problems today. We now know that Maj Toure's sole purpose and on the internet is him fulfilling his insatiable need to kill black people. So y'all can clip up
and
the
pose
beginning
for pictures.
And pose for pictures. He should be modeling for Bass Pro Shop instead of selling people concealed carry permits. I think he's having a good time. I think he is the school bus to shot during a home invasion pipeline. Fighting on a school bus to shot during a home invasion pipeline. It's controlled by Maj Toure. He's got that whole market cornered. He's got a monopoly down there. Don't let him fool you. We know what he's doing. The jig is up. So y'all tag him. He already blocked me. Y'all tag him and let him know. Just let him know. The whole beginning of this video is us completely exposing his pipeline.
Jig is up.
Yeah, we see you. We know what you're doing. You can't fool us no more. At first, I was a little confused. Why would a guy who sells people guns to kill criminals be saying snitching is bad? Why would he say that? Why would he say that this felony assault was just dumb kid stuff? Now it makes perfect sense.
Him in the long run.
He wants to kill him later. That's the only thing I can think of. So. Yeah,
he's the alternative to private. He's the alternative to private prisons.
Yeah,
we can either make money locking them up, or I can make money, taking them off of here.
He's basically the Terminator. He's Skynet,
and he's making other people killers too. He's like spreading his vampirism. Like, you need this gun. Your neighborhood's dangerous. You're gonna have to kill some small children soon.
He's the angel of death for white supremacy.
Wow. Just sprinkling it throughout the hood. What a guy. I ain't mad at him. I respect the hustle.
Nah, get your money.
Get your money.
Of course.
Get your money. But I'm definitely going to enjoy the rest of this evening, as I'm sure you two brothers will also. And, we're going to be linking up again soon. I'm sure the simulation will deliver us more absurdity to chop up and more beautiful things to add to the compendium. So I definitely appreciate y'all making time. I appreciate everybody that tapped in to listen with us.
Subscribe.
Yep, absolutely. Like and subscribe. I got to learn to say that more often. But, yeah, definitely do that. And we appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. And we will definitely be talking soon.
Yes.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Dola.
Peace.
You brothers enjoy the rest of the night.
Peace.
Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.